Okay, hi everyone. So today we're just going to do a very quick look at the interior of the Peugeot e208. So first things first, the seats. So really supportive actually, very good for a hatchback, quite sporty, and because this isn't a skateboard design, so there's no battery under the floor, actually means you can get the seat really low. It gives you a far better idea or sensation of what the car is doing. So yeah, the front seats really comfortable. So if I just get in, and if we switch on the car. So the first thing to talk about is the steering wheel. You can see the shape. It's a sort of flat top and a flat bottom, sort of almost like an oval, and quite thick rimmed, quite sporty, and it's really nice in the hand. And obviously there is adjustment for reach and rake. Let me just set that. Oh. The only thing, because of the design of the dashboard, is that this is, I think, a common thing now on Peugeots, is that the steering wheel is below the instrument binnacle. So instead of looking through there into the binnacle or the instrumentation, you actually look over. So this does mean that the steering wheel is lower, and when I first started driving this, I would keep hitting my hand or my leg when steering, but I've sort of got used to it, and I've put the seat in its lowest position, so it's not so much of an issue now. And as you say, you just peer over the steering wheel to the instrumentation. And in terms of the instrumentation, you use this one to change whichever one you want. I always use Personal 2 because it shows the battery percentage, and you've got two trip computers, 2 trips recorded. Anyway, so I'll tell you the mileage that you've done, your miles per kilowatt hour consumption, and your average speed. And of course on your right hand side you've got your speed, how many miles range you've got left. So yeah, this is fully charged. So in general, I mean, you can also have, if I just find the navigation one, so you can have your navigation in the center there as well. Now the navigation side of things, and I will come on to the infotainment, but it has TomTom live service, so you get traffic, weather updates, that type of thing. So although it's not exactly Google Maps, it's probably better than a lot of inbuilt navigation that you get in other cars perhaps. So I have one issue with the steering wheel, and that's the volume controls are there, and yet that changes the instrumentation like that, and yet that's for the radio. So you sort of think that one should be over there, but it's a small thing. So the ergonomics, I mean, you've got your drive mode down there and handbrake, gear selector. I'm not sure on higher spec models if that's wireless charging in there, I'm not sure. You've got the familiar black shiny plastic, which is sometimes, well, can scratch, and fingerprint magnet. The main sort of controls are here. You've got these piano buttons along the bottom there, and then these are all sort of touch sensitive along the top, and of course it has Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. The infotainment is sort of fairly, I'll call it basic, but that sort of thing that where you use 3 fingers to get to the main menu, I wouldn't say that's massively intuitive, but you've got the radio, navigation, climate, phone, applications and vehicle, that sort of thing. So once you know how to do it, then it's fine. So the last thing I'm supposed to talk about the infotainment is we go to the so charging. So we can set a starting charge time, but you can't give it an end start time, and you can't give it a specific percentage that you want it to go up to. So if you want it to go up to 80%, then unless you can do it through the app, and I'm not using the app, but unless you can do it through that, you'd have to keep coming out of your house to stop it at a certain point, which obviously isn't particularly useful if you're charging overnight, as most people will be at home. So the visibility side of things is you've got that rear C-pillar there, and that's because of that 205 style rear C-pillar, but it does give you a bit of a blind spot. It is mitigated somewhat by the fact that you do have blind spot detection, so that does work very well. I've used it. So and probably the quality, I mean, it's all fairly solid, and that's quite soft touch. None of it moves. It's well built, and that's soft touch there. So, and the steering wheel is nice. So that's nice and cushioned. So all good. Right, let's just see the rear seat room now. Being 6'2", or 188 centimetres, I'm not going to expect to fit in a car like this that well, and as you can tell, I don't, and I can't put my head up either properly, so it's sort of stooped forward a little bit, but I do have this seat really low down and quite far back, so for kids fine, adults not so sure. You've got 2 USB-A's, and quality, okay, perhaps isn't as good as it is in the front, although that's still fairly soft touch there, and it's a bit dark in the back here, but that's just the colour choice of this car. So all in all, it's okay. So anyway guys, so thank you very much for watching, and I will see you soon.